everyone, God bless you guys. So last week we introduced our new series, which is called God's Plans, But Really. And in this series, we're going to be studying the book of Job and really studying how God took him through a process to show him his plans for his life. And last Friday, we studied the first 6 chapters, chapters 1 through 6, and we learned about who Job was. And the Bible tells us that he was a great man of God. He feared the Lord. He shunned evil. He was very wealthy, very well off. He had a lot of kids. He had a lot of animals, a lot of land. The Bible says he was the greatest man in the East in that time. And we learn how the enemy, as we know, the enemy is always out, trying to bring, the children of the Lord down. And God asked him, "Where have you come from?" And he says, "I've been, roaming the earth to and fro." And God says, "Well, have you considered my son Job? He fears me, he shuns evil." And he says, "Well, of course, he's that way, because look, you give him wealth, you give him health, he has all these things." And through this, God allows the enemy to test Job, right? It tells us that he said, "Well, go ahead and test him, but don't take away his life." And so we read how the enemy really tests him with his wealth and with his health as well. We learn that Job's, children die, that all his animals die. We learn that he gets sick and he gets these really bad sores on his body. And the Bible describes how Job reacts in these 2 different cycles. It tells us that when he loses his wealth, he's well off, his faith is strong. It tells us that he tears his robe and he says, "Naked I came into this world and naked I will leave." God gives, God takes away, but blessed be his name, right? And so after as he goes on, to the second test, which was his health, Job, of course, is also human, and he begins to curse the day that he was born, and he starts having pity on himself, and it just explains to us like the process that he had to go through. So we can learn a lot about Job through his story and what God had for him, because much like Job, he didn't see all these things coming his way, and much like us at these times that we're living in, we didn't see this coming, right? But God did. It was already in God's plans. God knew, this had to happen for a purpose. So let's just remember that whenever you go through something in life that maybe wasn't in your plans, just trust the Lord. Ask him, what is the purpose that you have for me through this process, through this battle, through this situation, and trust that he knows why. And don't get mad, don't get frustrated. Sometimes we make plans without consulting God first, and maybe a lot of things that you had planned maybe for these coming weeks and months, haven't happened because God had a different plan for us. God had a different plan of what he was going to do in our lives. So let's be open to God's plans. Let's surrender our lives to him so that he can show us the way and show us his plan for our life. So we hope that this series will bless you. We hope that you'll continue joining us every Friday on Zoom as we continue studying the book of Job and really learning how we can apply those lessons to our lives as well. So God bless you guys, and see you soon. Bye-bye.